First quarter about to get underway. Central District against the Tigers. David Darcy and Ian Day.
At the centre bounce, it'll be Carey from the right against Launer from the left. And the long-awaited clash in the night series between Glenelg and the Dogs. Corns against Curley. Carey's first tap away. Quickly in there, trying to get the ball out is Marshall, making his comeback or making his debut in these night series. And David Marshall can certainly use the ball. Warren Ralph comes charging out. But in front there was the Bay Central District defender, Adams it was. Quickly coming through now, Thomas. Kicks the ball long, up towards Smith on the half-forward line. Smith looking for a lead. Puts it over. Oh, that's not a good pass, or is it? Yes, just getting in time in front was Jamie Thomas. Quickly slips out a handball. That wasn't well done. Has to recover well. Drive up to the half-forward line. Getting back on it. Couldn't make it. Now Brady with a chance. Out comes West. Cameron goes in for the Dogs. Towards the half-forward line. He can't pick it up. West in again and kicks the ball towards the line and out of play on the half-forward left flank for the Dogs.
The Bays have first use of this breeze, and it is a strong breeze, but we saw in the first game that goals can be scored into the wind to the golf course end. John Seabohm fighting hard. Likewise, Eddie Hocking. The back is Ross Gibbs trying to get clear. He's being held without it. And he'll get the free. The umpires tonight are David Weston and Darryl Schramm, as Gibbs tacks across the ground and finds Tony Simons. Forward go the Bays. Woodlands out in front. No, it wasn't Woodlands, it was Budrick. Pryor left it behind. Scott Cunningham will capitalise on that, no he won't. Pryor goes after it and gets it again, but he's put it short and just found Robertson. Here's an opportunity for them. Turning out of trouble was Paul Sullivan. Going forward, Jeff Robertson. He's looking for Rudy. He's out in front. One hand, you won't mark like that. On the ground, Gilbert McAdam. Now Greg Smith. Tough and rugged as he gets it forward in the direction of Mandamaker. Carey dispossesses him. Oh, lovely handball to Donovan. Now Chigwidden for the Bays. They're out of trouble as they go short to Marshall.
Marshall in the centre of the ground, and he will be paid that mark. David Marshall, I'm sure that Warren Ralph will be delighted with him in the side, because he normally delivers it just like that. Ralph, two grabs, play on, the umpire has called. Off hands, a big chance for the Bays again through Mansell. Will it bounce through? No, it won't. Just touched. So the first score of the evening at the 2.5-minute mark of the first quarter is a point to the Bays. Breeze is not as brisk as it was in the early game, but certainly favouring the end to which the Bays are kicking. Probably worth a couple of goals still. Up towards Big Lounder. He can't bring the ball down. Orden goes Krieg. Ducked the old chutney, got it whacked, and he's going to get a free kick for his trouble on the half-back line. Krieg, always a big kick winner. His first for this evening, of course, goes towards centre wing. Out there is Thomas. In fact, he's just the check side of centre wing. He's going to centre the... Oh, is he? Runs himself into the trouble. Back to Krieg. Krieg can turn on the outer side. Here's a chance for them to go into attack again. The long kick up towards the half-forward line. Out comes big Mandamaker. Loose ball. Getting back on it, Seabohm. Joined there by Donovan around the corner. And now a chase for the Bays. Getting to the ball quickly there was Tony Simons, but he's out of play on the half-forward right flank for the Dogs.
Bays have a point. Centrals haven't scored. Keith Martin's World, Sunday at 5 o'clock. The voyage of the Saramanook. It's not easy to say, Daisy, is it? 8 people set out in a canoe to cross the dangerous Indian Ocean. Don't miss it. Keith Martin's World this Sunday at 5 o'clock.
Moving up on 4 minutes, first quarter. That went past Rudy Mandamaker. Peter Carey trying to do something with it. He's in a lot of trouble, but fortunately the umpire gives him a reprieve, and he will bounce the ball about 20 metres from the Central District goal. 4 minutes, first quarter. Should be a top game of football. Peter Carey in ruck. Uncontested on that occasion. It gets put wide. That appears to be McAdam. Gilbert McAdam hooks it back. It goes straight through Greg Smith. Oh, another player in there fighting very hard is Krieg. Good tackle on him though. Couldn't get boot to ball. Down go the Glenelg defenders. A chance for Central District. Picking the ball up. A quick snap at goal is just... In fact, it's way offline. It's a point. So the score's a level. 4.5 minutes, first quarter.
Perfect night for footy. Gibbs kicks in, itching to get a game. He's got his first for the series. The Bays kicked off the turf at Strathalbyn by Sturt last time. Would be anxious to atone for that. Well, the handball from Smith out to Robertson put him under pressure. Mandamaker will need help. Brady it is. Brady out
A loose handball. Alan Stringer, Chigwidden, that's good footy. Marshall will get it next. Simons in tandem. Simons through the centre line. Out goes the long lead from Cruz. Woodland's there. Pryor coming across. Got a beautiful sit on the half volley and tears off the half back line. Drives long. Thomas in the van. Over the top. Stringer, beautifully done. Simons wants to sit. Doesn't get it. And the ball tumbles out of play at the interchange gate.
Great spoil that by Alan Stringer. Jamie Thomas appeared to have his name on it. 1 point each. We've had 5 minutes of the first quarter. Escort Cup football coming your way on 10 Sports Action. Alan Stringer. Marshall starring early in the game. He's got a bird on that, or he was lucky not to put it over the line. It dribbled off the end of his foot and just stayed inside. So another throw in. 5.5 minutes now into the quarter and still 1 point each.
The Bays no doubt smarting after that sound defeat last week at Strathalbyn at the hand of the Blues. Marshall, the roundhouse right, doesn't achieve a great deal with that. Going through for Central District was Eddie Hocking, but the umpire is going to bounce the ball. It's centre wing, grandstand side. Umpires tonight, Darryl Schramm and David Weston. About to bounce the ball, Richard Lounder, Peter Carey. Lounder it was, gets pushed further afield. Thomas, he hands it out brilliantly. That's Gilbert McAdam. Delightful mover, puts it out in front of Rudy Manamaker, can't mark the ball. Picked up by Big James West, slams it back, and the mark taken down there by Alan Stringer. Nice looking kick, looking for Butterick, finds that player. Quick kick away, it was touched off the boot though. Max Cruz didn't really get into the act there at all. Bubner tries to handball it out. Pryor's in there fighting hard. Max Cruz back into the action again, but the umpire will bounce it. Left half forward flank for the Bays.
6 minutes gone, almost 7 first quarter. Both teams a point. The bodies go in. Lounder at the back, Cruz in front, and the free kick's going the way of the Bays, to be taken there by Warren Ralph, and he's about 35-40 metres out. Now Graham Campbell would get set on this. He says he's a real sharp shooter, the boy from the West. Very quick leader. Has kicked a bundle of goals in senior football, including the VFL. Heads towards the lake end. The ball coming back. It's too far. Off for 1 point only, and the Bays lead 2 points to 1.
The Bays 2 points, the Dogs 1 point. 8 minutes into the first quarter in this Escort Cup game. Gilbert McAdam in trouble for Centrals. Gets it back, however. Here's an opportunity for them to build. Jamie Thomas gets it on to Chaplin. Chaplin gives it to Cameron. Cameron's kick is in the square, looking for man to make a big leap at the back. Simons drifting down from his wing. He'll get it wide to the outer side. Coming to meet it was Robbie Thompson, couldn't. Tapped on cleverly, gives Thomas a chance. Oh, intercepting brilliantly Simons again, and he's got it to Stringer. Alan Stringer now, plenty of time to push it on to Carey. It will go back to Stringer and then on to Marshall in superb football. Marshall with the left boot, puts it towards half forward. Chigwidden can and does. Oh, he found space.
Oh, it was marvellous too, David, because Warren Ralph can't quite pick it up there. He ran under the ball. Marshall didn't put it out in front of Ralph. He decided to go further on and gave it to Chigwidden. It was well done.
Chigwidden is only 20 metres out, directly in front. Wind assisted. Drop punt, he's hooked it too far. Point only. The Bays are 3 points, missing opportunities. The Dogs 1 point.
You're watching the Escort Cup from Football Park on 10 Sports Action. 9.5 minutes, first quarter. The Bays leading 3 points to the Dogs 1 point. Centre wing, no mark taken. Well done by Brady. Got it out to Gilbert McAdam. Goes further afield to Peter Cameron. He's got a bit of space out there. In fact, he's got a lot of space. Takes plenty of time. Puts it out in front of Rudy Manamaker. One hand up, but a brilliant mark to the big full forward. He certainly excites the crowd, this man, when he gets near the ball. There it is. the big left paw and just drags it down. Certainly a man in control. Rudy Mandamaker, we're 10 minutes into the first quarter, no goals scored yet. Will this be the first one? There's the angle, Rudy Mandamaker. No problems at all. His first. The Dogs lead now, 1-1 to the Bays, 3 points.
The Dogs by 4 points, kicking into the breeze. 11 minutes gone first quarter. They go into attack from Mansell up towards the half-forward line. Going through quickly as Sullivan. He can't get the ball out. And the umpire's going to, what's he going to do? Ball it up on the half-forward left flank. The Bays 3 points. The Dogs 1-1. Lounder in there. With him was Butterick. Can't get the ball out. Working hard for it back there and pulled off the ball was Hocking. Quickly now Mansell. He's got a chance to slip out a handball. Well taken there. Now a chance for Marshall. He got it from Scott Cunningham, but the kick is a shocker. All he's done is picked out Kickett. Kickett in turn has given it back to Pryor. Pryor off the half back line. Drives long. McAdam up. Fine mark. Gee, this fella knows how to play footy, I can tell you. Robertson will go out wide on the outer side. Here's a chance for them to go in now. Smith, 40 metres out, closing, puts the kick on the one. That's a brilliant goal to the Dogs. His first, their second, 2-1 to 3 points on 10 Sports Action.
That was a superb piece of football. It started in defence with Kickett, and this fine mark was taken by Gilbert McAdam, and then just watch the cohesion from there. Robertson saw space, saw Jamie Thomas out there, and through went Smith. On it went. Oh, and a lovely goal. What a great build-up, great finish. 2-1 now, the Dogs into the breeze, showing the way, and the Bays are 3 points. We've had just over 12 minutes of football.
Well, have the Dogs got the wood on the Bays? They certainly have in recent times. Will they continue with it tonight as the whistle goes? It appears to be a Central District free kick. Peter Carey trying to commit larceny out there in the centre. The umpire would have none of it, and Richard Lounder is the man with the ball. Nice looking kick too as he drags up to centre half forward. Oh, that's a good effort there by Craig Brady. He was in between two players, but his judgment was the best of the three. Good effort there. Peter Carey, who had gone into defence very quickly, couldn't cut it off. Brady's kick is a fine one. Mandamaker is 1 against 2. Peter Carey back there again. He plays that defensive role superbly. Tony Simons, a magician when he's in full stride. That's his 5th kick. Smith can't mark it. Tries to get back in front of the pack, but can't, and in doing so gives a free kick away to Alan Stringer.
Stringer in turn, Simons kicks long to the half-forward line. Butterick the leaper, one grab, can't complete it. Bubner back, going through strongly. Chigwidden loses the ball. Out wide now, Marshall got it from Cunningham. Marshall goes for home with a long one. I think the Bays are on the board. Fine goal. First.
Fine handoff by Scott Cunningham, a great goal by David Marshall, and the Bays are on the board. They're 1-3, but they're trailing the Dogs 2-1. The Dogs are into the breeze in this first turn. Glenelg going forward. Cruz can't. Chaplin there, gets it back to Trevor Rowe for the Dogs. He's clearing kickers to the outer side. Bubner won't stop that. So it's been a good start this by Central District, kicking 2 into the breeze. Goals by Mandamaker and Greg Smith. At the 14.5-minute mark, they lead by 4 points.
Very good game of football. Peter Carey slams it towards the forward pocket. Picked out there by Paul Sullivan from the Dogs, who jams it back. It was a high ball. In fact, I think it was marked by Jamie Thomas. Plays on immediately. Kick it, marks it. Well done. Exciting player. Centre wing. Another Bulldog player out there in Gavin Chaplin. And it's gone out of bounds, just the attack side of centre wing for the Dogs. Glenelg trailing 1-3 to the Bulldogs 2-1.
At the throw-in, it's going to be Carey against Lounder. The bodies go in. Lounder gets the tap away, but in doing so, infringes Carey, gets the free kick. Check side of centre wing, puts out the pass, looking for Simons, kick it in front. At the back there, waiting his opportunity, Butterick, or down goes Simons in a hurry. Sullivan likewise, now it's Butterick, and the umpire's going to get a free kick out of all that, and it'll go the way of Sullivan. Sullivan off the half-back line, whips out a handball. Here's the chance, there's the bump again, and it's McAdam who fires the ball in towards the half-forward line, finds Hocking. Hocking now looking for the lead of Mandamaker, puts it up for the big fellow, won't reach him, but Smith will, and Smith has got it. Next to play on, he's going in short, too far, Heck Hocking! Oh, Hocking, it was meant for Chaplin, got it to Hocking, Hocking under pressure, or Chaplin under pressure, picked up quickly now by Gibbs and kicked back towards the half-forward line.
Lounder in the way for the Dogs again, takes the mark in the middle of the ground. Oh, that handball is not a good one. Trying to get through and brought to ground was Paul Sullivan again, but he is a very strong man. This is how it happened. Mansell, it was Alan Stringer tackling high. The Dogs have gone forward. Trevor Rowe's kick looks for Mandamaker at the back. Oh, couldn't. Free was there before it, however, and it will be John Seabohm. Seabohm dispatches it wide to Gibbs. This way and then back the other. Looks for Tony Simons on a lead. Too swift. It's too swift, I'm trying to say, for Jeff Robertson. Simons' seventh kick finds Temay. Temay's kick is towards the centre half forward position. Butterick was held. Pryor gets clear. The kick just wide of Krieg. Kick it for the Dogs. Now Cruz. Stringer's got space. Wants Ralph. Will find Ralph. Well put by Alan Stringer. Just too long for Butker. Beautifully dispatched. And Warren Ralph has the ball and the mark about 15 metres out, almost directly in front. Would normally eat these. Warren Ralph has had one shot for goal and missed. We'll pick this up from behind. It should sail through the big white ones. Warren Ralph's kick is okay. His first goal, the Bays 2-3, hit the front. The Dogs are 2-1.
Escort Cup football, 10 sports action. A top game here. The Bays leading by 2 points. We're approaching the 18-minute mark of this first quarter. Big Super Carey. Will this be his last year? He has said it probably will be, but he has said it a couple of times before that it may be his last year. As Scott Cunningham drags it out of the centre. Ralph's in front. Plenty of action back there by Botker. Stops him marking the ball. Alan Stringer over there as well, but the vice-captain, young Mark Pryor, puts it onto the left boot, and it's out in front of Thompson, who drags it back for the Bays. Another chance for them to score. Ralph, way out from his goal-scoring zone. A chance out there for Stringer, couldn't pick it up. Bulldog defenders in there doing plenty. It's a bit scraggy and untidy, and the umpire decides to give a free kick to the Bulldog player there in Jamie Thomas, it appears to be, or is it Botker? Mart Botker it is, and we're moving up on 19 minutes now, first quarter.
Yes, he gave kicking to the danger, Peter. There was a lot of it going on in the pack. Quickly slipped out by Mansell, back to Robbie Thompson. Stringer in there can't hold his chances. The umpire's going to give him a free kick. Might have been a little fortunate, and Alan Stringer a chance from 35, 40 metres out. He's played well in the opening quarter. This is his fourth kick, but he's also had 5 handballs, and of course the usual strong body at the on the attack of the ball. Stringer, wind assisted. It's a nice looking kick. The umpire getting underneath it. It's home. Fine goal to Stringer. His first, the Bays third. They lead 3-3 to 2-1 on 10 sports action.
Yes, well, they finally hit the front. And there's a replay of this last goal by Glenelg. A bit of a kerfuffle of players up in the air. Robbie Thompson hooked the ball back. Alan Stringer was slightly interfered with. A little bit soft, that free kick, in my opinion. He held his ground and the fellow was just laid over him, but the resultant free kick, Alan Stringer made no mistake, and he really is a very dangerous forward.
Glenelg lead by 8 points. Kick it went in strongly. Trying to work clear was Chigwood and couldn't, and the umpire will. No, I thought he was going to bounce, but he's going to give a free. The little man at the bottom of the pack, Nick Chigwood, will get it. Chigwood kicks deep. In front roll for the back, the spoil from Botka. Well, Bubner got a horrible bounce. Stringer didn't want it, threw it away. Bubner to Hearn. Now the opportunity for the Dogs to get clear. The kick from around. I'm not sure who it came from. It was meant for Greg Smith, and he wasn't happy with the treatment he got from Chigwood. Threw the ball at him, and that was stupid. He's lost it. Chigwood to Simons. They're messing around with it at the bays. Now here's a chance. Donovan is forward. So is Butterick. Butterick gets a kick at it. Going in towards the full forward area. Trevor Rowe back there, but a safe mark taken by Mark Botka.
The ball out wide now. Thomas with a chance. If he gets the set, he's only got Mansell to beat. It's one-on-one out there. Comes back inside, does it well. Puts out the pass from McAdoo. He's swallowed. Thumped clear by Thompson to the half-forward line. Cruz can't. Getting in there quickly is that Salisbury on the turf. Gee, he slipped in unnoticed. And now it's Krieg. Krieg puts out a pass. Half-forward line. Brady looking for someone to pass off, but there's the siren. And at the moment, at quarter time, it's the Bays by 8 points. Graham Campbell.
Well, a very entertaining first quarter from both teams, and it must be said that Central have done very well into this breeze. They've kicked 2 goals, 1, and the Bays, kicking with what I consider a 4 to 5 goal breeze, have struggled somewhat to kick 3 goals, 3, but it remains to be seen. Can the Bulldogs do better with the breeze? I don't know. Breeze is blowing a gale.
Second quarter action about to get underway. David Darcy and Ian Day.
Moulds on the turf for the first time for the Dogs this evening against Carey. And at the bounce, it'll be the Bays by 8 points. The Dogs turn to kick with the breeze, as Graham told you, a proverbial gale. Stringer up towards Woodlands on the half-forward line. Butterick wants it out. Quickly back in defence, it was given out. No, it's Woodlands again with the ball. Can't get it out. Donovan in quickly. Grubbers one in towards full forward. Ralph looking for it. Can't find it. Back there in defence also is Botka. Rowe wants it out as well. Hard work going through Woodlands. He goes to ground. Oh, gee, there's some solid body work going in there. A high tackle eventually called, and the player to get it will be Gavin Chaplin for the Dogs.
Chaplin now, with nobody standing his mark, bolts off and boots it towards centre wing. Almost a mark to Greg Smith. Good crumbing by Peter Krieg as he puts it in towards the centre of the ground. In front, Brady, robbed of it by Seabohm. Thompson there for the Bays, but it's going to be Alan Stringer who goes backwards. Conceding ground, but got it to Donovan. The Donovan kick is towards half forward on Mould. Strong in the air, too big and too strong for Cruz. Takes it at centre half back. Mould's on, Lounder off in this quarter. Stringer will be paid. Paul Sullivan, his immediate opponent, couldn't, and this will be Stringer's 6th kick. He's played it well. Ford here, he needs help. Fortunately, he had Carey standing by him. Comes back now to Stringer as he wobbles it towards half forward. Out in front, Butterick will be paid. Waste no time, does Butterick, as he gets a kick forward. It was half smothered. Botka on hands and knees got it out cleverly to Moulds. Moulds goes back to Hearn. The Hearn kick is a terrible one. He's put it straight back to Alan Stringer, who goes short towards half forward. In front, Cunningham. Thump clear. Krieg now a chance, and the chance for the Dogs to build.
Eddie Hocking put his hands on that and got it over as the Dogs go forward. Mandamaker tries to half volley it. He's done more than that. It was put in by Chaplin, and Mandamaker picked one up very close to the ground. Gee, that was a great effort. Well, the Bays handball is very good tonight. The skills in the Bay side are very, very high. But Central District are right up with them. And if Big Rudy can put this one through, they'll only be 2 points behind. He has done just that. 2 goals to Rudy Mandamaker.
Bays by 2 points. 3 minutes into the second quarter. The ball given out by Robertson, quickly onto the boot of Krieg. Brady underneath it with Seabohm. Over the top, Cameron. Stringer again playing a fine game, but this time the ball not well directed,
and taken by Bubner at centre-half pack. In fact, he's just the check side of the centre line as he puts it in long up towards Kicker. He's underneath it, and Gibbs takes a fine mark in defence. Gibbs, who we haven't seen in the Escort Cup up to date, but he hasn't lost any of that superb timing. Kick number 4 to Gibbs as he edges it out to Chigwidden. Robertson over the top, should sprawl, doesn't. Chigwidden off, puts it out wide, finds Marshall, using the ball well. Marshall on the left leg, goes to the half-forward line. Once again, this time it's Teme, is it? Yes, slips it out. Stringer, collared, loses it, has to put it out towards Big Super. Super rides the bump well, gives it back there to Buderick. In turn it comes now out to Teme. Back now to Woodland, shoots for goal, and that's home! What a brilliant goal. The Bay's in trouble all the way, but Woodland puts it in for his first goal, and the Bays lead 4-3 to 3-1 on 10 Sports Action.
It's a marvellous goal that by the Bays. They fiddled around for a while, but then finally they got it clear, and on the run went Woodlands. It was started here. Woodlands in fact got that first handball away. Cruz onto Teme, and there was the support from Woodlands in space, and he has booted truly for his first. The Bays fourth. 4.5 minutes into the quarter, they lead 4-3 to 3-1.
Moulds for the Dogs. And Peter Carey for the Bays. He hooked it over the top, Carey. That was brilliant to Chigwidden. He wheels out of the centre. Scott Cunningham's at, just between wing and half forward, and he's taken a mark. Did some very useful things in the first quarter too, Scott Cunningham. Left footer. Up forward, big pack of players. Buderick couldn't mark the ball. Thompson was very clever off hands. Sullivan booted off the ground for the Dogs. Now Gilbert McAdam. Centre wing, Smith. Here's a run for the Dogs. Away goes Jamie Thomas. He can kick it a long way. Puts it over the top. Kickett's got the set. Up he goes. Can't take the mark. Completely misjudged that. And the ball rolled through for a point. 4-3 the Bays. The Dogs 3-2.
Had the choice of two, Mandamaker on the lead, but it was pretty short, and so he chose to go long. Gibbs to Carey. Super to the half-back line. Robbie Thompson there. McAdam over the top. Gee, he's done that well, but however, he's grabbed the player high, and Robbie Thompson gets the ball on the half-back line. Been a superb performer in reserves football in recent times. Now getting his chance in senior footy. Cunningham through, but the umpire's got a free kick out of all that. It's going the way of the Dogs to be taken by Jamie Thomas at centre wing. 4-3 to 3-2. Umpire Darryl Schramm there just indicating that Marshall will have to come back 15 metres. Kick number 6, Thomas. Thomas puts it up now for Moulds. I don't think he really thought that he was going to get it. He finally took the mark. Moulds thought about Krieg, but will go back to kick long. Mandamaker's in the square. Underneath the ball. In goes Kickett. Lost the footy. Chance for Gibbs. Gibbs goes out wide. It's Smith out there. Gets the set, or will he? One to beaten Donovan. Shrugs that tackle. Puts out the pass. Cameron thought about moving on. He's going to get run down. Beats the tackle. Shoots for goal, and the umpire said that's 6 points. Thank you very much. 4-2 plays 4-3.
The Bays by a point as we go to the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. Great game of Escort Cup footy. Centrals have the breeze in this second term. They have added 2 goals, 1 in 7 minutes, and they're playing well. That was a fine goal from Peter Cameron. Here they go again. All Brady's clear. Brady puts it in looking for Mandamaker. Bays got it. Just ease West out. Mandamaker got back. There he goes. Out goes West just there. And back where he's already booted to, and he's posing a real problem for Mandamaker. Will put the Dogs in front with a goal. Not much of an angle to speak of, and there it goes, right through the middle. 3 goals to Mandamaker. The Dogs in front, 5-2, lead the Bays 4-3.
Great football here at Football Park. We're 8 minutes into the second quarter. There's Rudy Mandamaker. He's booted 3 goals. He's put the Dogs back in front. They're going with a breeze. Graham Campbell said there could be 4 or 5 goals in it. We've got plenty more time this quarter, so we might see the Dogs go in with a sizable break at half-time. You never know. Jamie Thomas boots it away from the centre again. He's playing well. That's his 7th kick. Well done, Ross Gibbs. Read the ball superbly. Well, that's a floater. Robertson punches away. Very intelligently done. A big chance out there for the Dogs again. Thomas on the end of the handball, but it'll be cut off by Seabohm, who read it pretty well back there at centre half back.
The Dogs by 5 points as Seabohm eases the ball out to the outer side, and it's well taken by Gibbs again. Gee, he runs with a minimum of effort, this fella. Never seems to be moving quickly, but they can't catch him. Mansell back now to Simons through the half-forward line. A long kick up towards Butterick. Can't bring it down. Rowe there beaten to it by Chigwidden as the ball goes to the line and out of play on the half-forward left flank for the Bays. They trail 4-3 to 5-2.
Sports Crazy, 6:30 on Sunday with your host Jack Thompson. A selection of the more unusual and unconventional games that are played. That's Sports Crazy, 6:30 this Sunday night on 10.
Oh, the Bays into attack again through Woodlands. He misses Warren Ralph by 3 or 4 metres with that one. Ralph shows that he's got plenty of mobility though as he drags it back. It hit the post, the point post it appeared to be, but not on the full, so it's out of bounds. Right forward pocket for the Bays. The Dogs are leading by 5 points. Big chance for the Bays now as that went past Max Cruz. He's not having a big night. The handball came out. Gilbert McAdam is the man. Handballs it out. Robertson. Hocking put him in a lot of bother, but Hocking got around the player as though he wasn't there. Big chance again for the Dogs as they go forward. And that ends up with Gavin Chaplin. See, they're moving well, the Dogs. Centre half forward. Seabohm can't mark it. Kickett was thrown out of the action. Dragging the ball back there is Donovan. Finally gets boot to ball. Ross Gibbs is the target, and he does it easily.
Gibbs quickly over to Teme. Off the half-back line go the Bays. Drive towards centre wing. Smith the big leaper. Hearn comes out with the ball. Oh, that handball's a shocker. Mansell gives a chance out wide now to Simons. On the left leg to the half-forward line. Sullivan comes to meet it. One grab. Can't complete it. In quickly now goes Bubner. Chigwidden against that player. And the umpire will come and sort them out on the half-forward line for the Bays. The Bays kicking into the breeze after just leading at quarter time 3-3 to 2-1. Ball put down by umpire Darryl Schramm. Thumped clear by Moulds. In turn Smith. Now a chance for Stringer. Stringer puts it out wide to Simons. He in turn uses the help off the half-back line there of Donovan, and that's a fine mark by Woodlands. Too far out to score. Now, who will he kick to? In the square, he's got Ralph. He'll put it up for that player. It's 2-on-1 back there at the moment. Botka and Bubner both on Ralph. It's going to be a 2-on-1 leap. Bubner up. Fine mark. Ralph never got started as the scissors worked perfectly.
Bubner gets it to Robertson. They're out of trouble towards centre wing. Too long for Donovan. At the back, Brady caught. Wants a free. He's not going to get one. Simons dispatches it to Chigwidden. He's loose. Little chip pass was good on the lead, Ralph. And a lovely placement by Chigwidden. Ralph taxed into the pocket. I don't know whether that was all that wise, but he's found Scott Cunningham. They haven't gained much ground, but they've maintained possession. Cunningham, the left footer, kicking into the teeth of that breeze, would almost take a miracle from there. He's about 45 metres out. Gives it a heck of a ride. That's a fantastic shot for goal, but it just faded. And a point only. We're 4-4 now, the Bays. The Dogs are 5-2, and we've had 12 minutes of football second quarter.
Yeah, I think his dad, KG, was a left footer too, wasn't he? He wasn't a bad footballer actually, Ken. I didn't see him play. Certainly before my time, but the Bays are 4 points down. 12.5 minutes, last quarter. Good mark there by Max Cruz. He hasn't been in the action a lot, but he's been holding ground with great discipline there at centre half forward as Teme gives it to Warren Ralph. Superbly put. And gee, Warren Ralph certainly makes full back work because he covers a lot of territory. Zigzags all over that half forward line. And when he gets his kicking action right, it'll prove a big headache for opposition players. But you haven't really learned how to kick goals until you kick them at Football Park. You can kick them at Subiaco, the MCG, Waverley, anywhere, but it doesn't mean you can kick them here. Warren Ralph drags it to the left just slightly, but he put it through. That's his second goal. The Bays 5-4, the Bulldogs 5-2.
that was a fine goal. I thought he did pretty well. The Bays by 2 points, doing it well into the breeze. And Ralph is certainly going to be a headache for a lot of full backs, as Peter said, especially when you've got the likes of David Marshall and co putting the ball to him. Chigwidden gives the ball out to Pryor. Robertson back to Pryor in the double play. The Dogs go forward. The kick is not a good one, off the side of his boot, and Scott Salisbury takes the easy defensive mark. He could go short to Chigwidden, but elects to come back onto the right foot and goes long up towards Butterick. He can't get it. Sullivan back there. Moulds whips out a long handball. Robertson under pressure from Chigwidden. Gets it back. Sullivan, he'll need help. In there quickly is Hocking. He in turn gives it back to Sullivan on the left leg. Jamie Thomas, centre field, using the ball well at the moment. Thomas will no doubt go long, or will he? No, slips it over to McAdam. McAdam out wider still now. Cameron's got a chance to have a shot. Puts it on its way. It's a nice looking kick. It's home. Great football. Oh, it's not home. It's just at the aluminium. Geez, it looked good off the boot. Must have got a duck hook.
Point then to the Dogs. 5-3, the Bays are 5-4. Simon's got it from Gibbs. He'll go short. Donovan into the open space. McAdam a bit late. Thompson now for the Bays. He's got Marshall loose and all. That's good foot passing. Marshall wastes no time. That is awfully close to the line. In fact, it's out before Mansell can get it. The free kick will be Trevor Rose, playing in the back pocket tonight. He's called to play on. No, Mansell over the mark. He'll come back 15 metres. So just a point separating these sides as Rowe puts the Dogs slightly into attack. The big leap was from Moulds, not successful. Thomas has had a very good game. His kick was not intended where it finished, but it's going to be all right. Chaplin couldn't, but he's tapped it over to Smith and they've muffed it. Gibbs with pace tries to soccer it off the ground, left it behind. Greg Smith got it to Bubner, who fumbled. Alan Stringer's fighting hard. Finally they stack up. It was 5-3, the Dogs rather, trailing the Bays 5-4, coming up on 15 and a half minutes.
Very good game of football. Sides even out there, although the Bays are leading by a point. As Smith has his kick smothered, Robertson tries to finesse it, but it doesn't pay off as Marshall tears forward with it, puts it into the half-forward area. Ralph way out from goals, couldn't mark the ball, and Botker it is who pushes it towards the line, and he achieves just what he intended.
Tour of Duty, a reminder not to miss one of the most acclaimed TV drama series ever made. Tour of Duty, a true account of young men in combat on the battlefields of Vietnam. That's Tour of Duty, 7:30 Monday night on 10.
Free kick to Max Cruz from the throw-in. Off goes Butterick on a lead. That's where it's heading. Can he get there? No, he's going to be cut off. Beautifully cut off by Thomas. Number 11 for Jamie Thomas. He's playing a great game. Towards Kickett, who must get a free. Came in for some pretty strong treatment from Scotty Salisbury. Derek Kickett, just forward of the centre. Hasn't had a big night to date. Well, that's a massive kick into the pocket. It's given Mandamaker a chance. A slight fumble at the finish, and he's very cross with himself. Had his name written on that Mandamaker and fluffed it at the finish. Throw in left forward pocket. The Dogs deep in attack. Great chance for them to hit the front. There's a bit of an altercation behind the play, but that's been sorted out. Here they are as the hook back came from Peter Cameron, but he's put it out of bounds on the full. The Bays, for the moment at least, will be out of trouble.
Yeah, the Bays have done pretty well this quarter, going against the breeze. They have restricted the scoring of the Bulldogs as Ross Gibbs moves over to pick the ball up. The Bays leading by a point, 17 and a half minutes. Second quarter. It's one of the best games we've seen in the Escort Cup in 1988. It's round 3. Port Adelaide undefeated, having defeated West Adelaide in the early game here tonight. Kickett's got the ball again. Mandamaker's out in front. The big man can't mark it. Ross Gibbs will get one for a high tackle. I'm not sure who gave it to him. Brady it may have been. Ross Gibbs brings it to Marshall. They're good at keepings off, the Bays. They move the ball around very well. 10th kick, Marshall. Carey punching away. Clean bowled Thompson. Comes out to Simons. He jags it back towards centre wing, and coming to take a good mark is Max Cruz, who thought he might have jumped the fence. I don't know if he's allowed to do that, and he's out of bounds. Yes, that's got to be brought back. That ball's out of bounds because Max Cruz played on and kicked it when he was out of bounds. And I think that the boundary umpire will ball it in. Yeah, that's really a correct decision. If you play on and you kick the ball while you're out of bounds, it's deemed to be out. Gilbert McAdam. Quick handball. Robertson. Another good movement by the Dogs. Krieg. Good effort there. Chaplin it was. It ends up with Cameron. Rudy's on the lead and the big fella's taken it. He'll get 15 or 20 or 30 metres for that one. James West was a little bit late with that tackle. Have a look at that. I'm not laughing because of what happened. It's just the length of time between the mark. I don't think that...
and the left hook.
I don't, in all fairness, James, I think that 15 or 20 metres was appropriate. Rudy Mandermaker lining up for his fourth. Oh, no, he's pulled it. Only a point. Well, that's a much needed one, but the scores are level.
Seabone kicks the ball in. It's an even ball game. Here's a chance for Cunningham, one to beat, tries to get it back there, and I think a free kick is going the way of Scott Cunningham on the half-back flank. Over 20 minutes gone in this quarter. That means that we've got less than a minute to play. Scott Cunningham from half-back flank, kick number 5. High towards centre wing, setting himself there is Cruz. One grab, can't complete it, and the ball is out of play on the half-forward left flank.
Well, it's been a great half of football, and we're almost at siren time. The scores are level. Throw in centre wing, grandstand side. Carey positioning well. Krieg got a kick forward, or Jamie Thomas eyes for the ball only. Takes another courageous mark. He has played well. Kick number 12 for him. Looking for Mandermaker, being eased out. Oh, in the middle of it, little Eddie Hocking. Would you believe it? The big fellas were all jostling, and just keep your eyes in the middle of the pack there somewhere. Up he went, Eddie Hocking, and what a great little mark he took. Siren has sounded as Hocking lines up the goals. A score will put the Dogs in front at half-time. A goal will put them clear by 6 points as Hocking's kick is underway. And the Dogs at half-time, after a very good half of football, go in leading by 6 points. Graham Campbell.
Well, didn't that mark deserve a goal? What a fantastic grab by the little fellow. He's done that a few times in his short time in league football. He really is an exciting player to watch, Eddie Hocking. I like this little fellow, and he just got to learn to be consistent over 4 quarters of footy to be a real player. That was a marvellous mark, and he finished it off with a goal after the bell to give Central that lead by 6 points. Terrific effort by Central to be in front of last year's runners-up, Glenelg. I really thought at quarter time this was on. Even though I picked Glenelg tonight, I thought Central had a 4 or 5 goal breeze in that second quarter, but it seems to me whichever side kicks into the breeze steels themselves to defend stoutly, and both sides have done that quite adequately in the 2 quarters of football played so far. There goes Chris McDermott walking in at half-time. No doubt he'll be on the field in the last half, and that should lift Glenelg stocks. But at this point in time, Glenelg 5-4-34, trails Central 6-4-40 in what has been a most entertaining game of football.
Good effort by Mandermaker to pull it down, or holding the ball. The umpire quick on that one. One against Brady, one against Ingerson, I think that may have been. Let's have a look at the decision. Sure about that. Max Cruz couldn't mark it. Mansell it is, who gets the ball away, and a free kick will go back to Chigwidden against the bearded row.
Chigwidden from centre wing to put the Bays into attack. They're still dragging the chain. 5 points down. Last use of the breeze. Big mark. Big Jim. He's about 45-50 out. Wind assisted. Playing centre half forward now, obviously, against Brady, who's gone to centre half back. West's kick is that of a defender out on the full. Not what the Bays need right now.
and Sullivan takes the penalty free kick.
Well, he could have used Scott Cunningham too. He got into the open space at left half forward. No Dogs defenders around him, but Big Jim intent on blazing away at the goals. 6-6 to 7-5. The Dogs in front and doing it well. 14.5 minutes into the third quarter. Big leap again from West. Play on the call. It was held to the body of Brady. He's not happy. Voicing that opinion with Darryl Schran too. He's playing at centre-half back at the moment. Brady, he started at centre-half forward. Central's in front by 5 points. Chigwidden. Head over the ball. Keeping it in play was Lee Adams. Pushes it towards Peter Craig. Good pass.
It was a good pass, and he took it low to the ground as well, as Gurdon comes away with it. Ingerson, good mark. I like the look of this lad. He just avoided Salisbury then too. It's a bit of luck as it fell into the hands of Krieg. He put it into the perfect spot. Oh, kick it! What an amazing mark. That was meant for Rudy Manamaker, but kick it, the magician, just pulled it out of the air. A fantastic effort, and he is a star. He's got star quality, but we don't often see him do as much as perhaps he is capable of doing in a game. He fades in and out of a game. He's a bit of a nomad. It's his 10th kick, lines it up, and he's put it through. The Bulldogs leading 8-5 to the Bays, 6-6.
The Dogs doing it well, kicking into the breeze. 16 minutes into the second half. They lead by 11 points, and the Bays have got some work to do from here. At the centre bounce again. 8-5 to 6-6. Been playing almost 17 minutes. At the bounce. Getting up high was Moulds. Taken away by Marshall. Long kick to the half-forward line. Working hard for the ball back there was Mansell. Working also hard was Rowe, but he's forced the ball over the line for a throw-in on the half-forward left flank.
Sports Crazy, 6:30 on Sunday with your host, Jack Thompson, of course. A selection of the more unusual and unconventional games that are played. That's Sports Crazy, 6:30 this Sunday night on 10.
The Bulldogs are leading by 11 points, and this is a very good game of football. Chigwidden in the action there. Just out of bounds, but plenty of body in there from Gurdon. It's a tough, hard game of football out there, and also an exciting game. Thompson got rid of it very quickly, like a hot spud in fact, holding the ball against Marshall, and this Bulldog side is revved up, but they're going to have to bring it right back. That appears to be Paul Sullivan, the North Melbourne recruit. Kickett's in the van again, but he won't get near that. Gurdon, a big chance. Oh, he's in big trouble. Very lucky. No, that's too long. Holding the ball now. Umpire Schramm has said you had it long enough. And Scott Salisbury just goes in there to even things up a bit. Gavin Walsh. Scott Cunningham, in fact. The left footer up to half forward. James West there, but Brady has taken that one, and I think he'll tell the umpire, why don't you take that one away from them? Oh, good one-hander in the centre of the ground. Jamie Thomas on the lead. Manamaker, up he goes, he's got it. He's going to play on. Left boot is not quite good enough. It has gone out of bounds. No, he got a point with it. The Bulldogs 8-6, the Bays 6-6 on 10 Sports Action.
Oh, Peter, what an amazing thing to play on. He took a beautiful mark, one grab, then he elects to play on. He was only 30 metres out, would have bolted in the distance. And can I say his left leg's not quite as good as his right. Ball out of play. Umpire's going to give a free kick here. It's against Gavin Walsh. It's going the way of Jamie Thomas, who's working very hard for the Dogs. 8-6 to 6-6. 16th kick now for Jamie Thomas. Where's Manamaker? Putting it up towards full forward for Ingerson. Thumped clear. Krieg comes in for the crumbs, slips it out. Chaplin's got it. Dummies well. Caught on the left leg. Hooks high. Oh, that's not going anywhere in a hurry. And quickly in on the ball. Taking the defensive mark is Christie. Christie elects to play on. I think he was asked to play on in the end. Now Donovan throws away the ball. Ingerson in. Oh, down he goes. And the umpire's going to give him a free kick for a high tackle. It wasn't Donovan, it was Teme who came into the action there. But the free kick is most certainly going the way of the Dogs. And this will be taken by Ingerson. Anthony Ingerson, about 45 metres out into the breeze. Might be struggling for distance. Only his third kick, but he's only come into the action in the second half. Man to maker at the back is Gibbs. He's got time, or would he concede? No, he puts it out wide, and that's done well. He finds Teme in the back pocket.
Teme's had a pretty quiet one tonight. This is just his fourth kick to the outer side. Leap winded all up, went McAdam, but in front, strong mark taken by Robbie Thompson. On the half-back line, he directs it towards centre wing. Woodlands tried to ease Hearn under it, didn't succeed. Hearn's now fighting on the ground for it. The umpire will bounce it. 20.5 minutes gone in this third quarter. It's been a good quarter for the Dogs. They started at 6-4, so they've added 2-2. The Bays have added just 1-2 in the same time. Christie's on the ground, Carey's off. Marshall beaten by Thomas on the night, puts that one out of bounds on the full. The free kick will be Paul Sullivan, and he's a pretty tough customer, this fellow, Ian. Strong and determined.
Yeah, I agree that, and also he uses his left foot to effect. He puts it a long way. Can't tell who they're barracking for, but they're certainly enjoying the evening. O'Sullivan's ninth kick up towards centre field, and there's the mark taken by Christie. Christie finally getting to the Bays, a former South player. Wonder what his father thinks about him playing with the Bays. Over the top, Brady at the second grab. He's had a few words to say. He gives it away now. Here's a chance for him to go through Sullivan. McAdam puts it in long. Getting underneath it is Ingerson again. They're moving the ball well and going like winners at the moment. Man to maker with him, Walsh. Man to maker. Walsh kicking in there as well. Walsh gets a chance to clear. Gives it back now to Gibbs. Gibbs in turn will come out wide. Marshall. And the Bay should move it off their half-back line. Walsh backs up for the double play. But finally it'll go to Donovan. Donovan in turn will have Winton centre field. No, he's going in towards the half-forward line towards Butterick. He can't handle the chance, and the ball is out of play on the Bay half-forward left flank, and they're down by 12 points.
Into time on by 60 seconds. Centrals are leading by 8 points. Throw in. Sorry, correction on that. Make it 12 points as Mansell puts the Dogs, puts Glenelg towards centre half forward, but in the way Mark Pryor takes a fine mark. He's tacking across the ground. He's got McAdam in the first instance, and also Cameron. McAdam's going to be paid the free kick, and now 15 metres. Puts it out wide to the lead from Ingerson in front. Not successful, but on the ground Chaplin roving it well. Fell over, got it back to Ingerson, who had fumbled. Ingerson slips it to McAdam at ankle height. He's caught, throws it out. He's gone holding the ball. And Jeff Winton applies a very strong tackle to take that. There it was. McAdam gone for all money. Half forward now, and that's a timely mark taken in defence by Sullivan. He really is developing this boy into a very good player. Moulds is loose. Tucks it under the wing, now gives it to Krieg. Oh, the Krieg handball intercepted by Winton. Off he steams towards half forward, pushes it out to Butterick. He goes back to Winton, who's caught. Strong tackle from behind. Winton has gone cold, and Moulds will take the free.
Tit for tat. It was Winton that took it off Moulds, and now Moulds has reacted well, brilliantly, to go back and get the ball himself. Here's a chance for them to go in. Adams gets it out, now Girdham. Cameron run down, great tackle, siren sounds, what a quarter of football, but the Dogs doing it well, leading by 12 points at three-quarter time. Comment Graham Campbell.
Well, what can you say, Ian Day? The Dogs have outscored Glenelg that quarter into the breeze. Now, it must be remembered the breeze is not as strong as it was early in the game. Nevertheless, it is certainly favouring that lake end, and Glenelg have been outscored by the Bulldogs by 1 goal exactly in that quarter, and the game has been set up for the Bulldogs to win. It still should be a stirring struggle in this last quarter, so don't go away, folks. There's still more to come.
Ball. Yes, Studley Corns pulling out all stops for the final quarter, endeavouring to get out of the mess that his team's in. Onto the forward pocket. Not a bad tandem up there with Mandermaker and Bubner to pull in the big one. But at the moment it's going to be Lounder against Carey. Lounder gets the bounce towards him. Can't get it out. Chigwidden can to Simons. The kick's going higher than longer. Carey underneath the footy again. Still can't get it out. Big Super's doing it well, going like a rover in there. Finally Brady gets an awkward kick up towards centre wing. Pryor got a shocking sit. Whipped out by West to Marshall. He's beautifully tackled. Lost a footy. Oh, Hocking did that well. Gurdam in trouble, still in trouble. Whips out a long one. McAdam gives a chance. Oh, he put his teammate and Krieg under pressure. He's got it back again. Now Gurdam on the left leg to the half-forward line. Looking up there for Kickett. Salisbury couldn't do it. Gibbs gives it back. Now it's getting back to Simons to Gibbs. They've just conceded about 50 metres. In fact, if they keep on going, they'll run into the lake. And Gibbs can't get it. He needs help. Gee, that's a slippery bit of leather.
Well, look at him. He went back about 70 metres then and he just couldn't control it. So the Dogs are in attack. Carey, Hocking, shot for goal is offline a point, but the Dogs have started well. 8-7 they lead. They've eked out this advantage now to 13 points. It's going to be difficult, Peter, for the base to get it back from here.
Well, it will be, but as Graham Campbell said, with Carey and McDermott on the field, that is a clear sign that Graham Corns is terribly serious about the result of this game. And they'll be pulling out all stops, but Butner's back on the ground for the Bulldogs, together with Richard Lounder. And I really think they've got momentum with them, and they've got the good form of the second and third quarters. Bubner, gee, that's a delightful kick, drops it in the square. Ross Gibbs, I think he looked as though he was going to jump for the ball, but didn't. Here's a chance for the Dogs. Mandermaker has put it through. He's beat it 5, Big Rudy. Great goal, great snap. The Dogs are 9-7. The Bays are 6-6.
What a brilliant snap, Rudy Mandermaker. Not a bad sort of kick from Bubner. That's a 60-metre kick. Now watch Big Rudy recover. They swamped him there. Thomas tries to barge. No, Ingerson tried to barge his way through. Now Big Rudy loses it there. Gets out of it and just drops it onto the left toe and puts it through for big number 5. 9-7 to 6-6. The Bay's really pushing wind uphill.
They're 19 points down as Chigwidden tries to get them moving. A lovely handball forward by Chaplin, but the umpire's whistle has sounded. Carey and Lounder having a bit of a go behind. Little David Weston separates them. Lounder gets the free. Carey has a huge word to the umpire. Towards half forward it goes. Gibbs in it. Can he handle this one a bit better? That's a better sit for him, but he's still in trouble. Gone, caught. Teme's caught. The free kick is against. Gibbs again. Yes, against Gibbs for holding the ball. And the Dogs have got it right forward pocket. They're leading by 19 points. And this is Peter Bubner. No doubt he'll get the distance okay. Oh, the umpire hasn't moved 1 inch. Bubner boots a goal. The Dogs extend that lead now to 25 points.
Ten sports action at Football Park, and Glenelg in a lot of bother at the moment. 4 minutes into the last quarter. The Bulldogs doing it easily. Kickett's at centre-half forward. He's been a star since being moved there. Have a look at that for a great kick. Butler's on the lead, and Kickett gave it to him right where he wanted it. Superb kick. That was the kick of the night, that one. That was just outstanding. Peter Bubner lines up for his second in 2 minutes, but he's just offline with that. The Dogs are 10-8, the Bays are 6-6, and the Bay's good enough, Daisy.
I don't think they are, Peter. I think the Dogs have got an enormous amount of talent out there. And how about that kick of Kickett's? I think I got that right. The kick in from Walsh is not as good. Carey. Chigwidden. He's been a dasher this evening. Goes towards the half-forward line. And Brady, who's done pretty well at centre-half-back. Also yells at the umpire well from back there. Drives out long. There's a nest of dogs. No, there wouldn't be a litter of dogs, I suppose you'll have to make it. puts it out wide. Here's a chance now. Chaplin on the run. 50 metres out. Goes to hope for a long one. I think he's bottled another one. What a brilliant goal.
The Dogs are bombarding the goals. They've got 3 in about 5 minutes. They lead 11-8 now to 6-6. And they're showing us some superb football here at headquarters in this Escort Cup game. Centre bounce again. The difference is 32 points. Carey against Lauder, and they're at it again. Lauder most upset with Peter Carey at the moment. This time the free goes the other way. Well, I don't know. They both have a go. One time it's sorted out for Lauder, this time it's Carey's. Now here it is. From there on they weren't happy. And Lauder got the free. Carey rather got the free. Thomas has got it now. Here's Paul Sullivan into the pocket looking for Rody. Couldn't mark it at the back, kick it. Gets a shove out. No free kick paid, and the ball has gone over the lines and out of bounds. So Dogs into attack again. They're overwhelming the Bays in this class quarter to lead by 32 points at the 6.5 minute mark.
That's really been a great effort by them as Bubner jams it over the top. There's McDermott for his first move at the ball. Ross Gibbs, well, Launder will mark that. He can't because Scott Cunningham came in for a very good spoil. Gee, the Bulldogs are going in with gay abandon there, shooting the ball out. Marshall can't do much with it. There's his opposite number in Thomas. Oh, great kick to kick it. He didn't have to move. Brilliant performance by Jamie Thomas. Would be close to best on ground tonight. In fact, I think he is best on ground. 17 kicks, 7 handballs, and that was his best kick. Kick it, has dragged it, but he has still got the desired result. His second goal, the Bulldogs 12-8 to the Bays 6-6.
No doubt about it. The Dogs have got an enormous amount of talent that Curley's recognised, and their recruiting has been pretty good. The two players I like are Sullivan. He looks a very direct player, very strong player, and also Kickett. He's got an enormous amount of talent. Just whether he's tall enough to hold down centre half forward is another matter. 38 points now as their lead. Centre bounce again. Umpire's whistle is blown. It will be a Glenelg free kick. Jeff Winton it is in the middle. Boots them towards half forward. Ralph was on a lead. Scott Cunningham a chance now. 45 metres and closing. Puts it on the line. That's a good kick, but it's just offline. And into the goal. Got a point only from the boot of Scott Cunningham. They're 6-7 now, and the Dogs lead 12-8.
Well, it's a slaughter at this stage, but there is still time for the Bays to claw their way back into it. It's Pryor for the Dogs. Kicks it to centre wing. Well, not a bad effort out there. Thomas has marked another one. He gives it to Gilbert McAdam. Drags it over there to Eddie Hocking. Not the best of kicks, but plenty of time as McAdam handballs it really to no man's land, and it's picked up by Ross Gibbs. Very coolly brings it back to centre wing. Peter Carey won't quite make it to Sullivan, who casually puts it over the top to McAdam. That's a bit too casual. Gibbs spoils easily. They're finessing the Dogs. Will Curley won't be too happy about that, but nevertheless, he'll be happy with what's gone on so far. It's been an outstanding performance, Daisy, and certainly I think that one of the big things about the Dogs is that they've got a ruck set up with Launder and Moulds. That's something you can build a side around.
I'd agree, Peter. Umpire David Weston puts the ball down. With him tonight, of course, is Darryl Schramm. But I think the other thing, Peter, is the use of the ball has been tremendous this evening. And you've got players that can take the marks around the ground. A reminder not to miss one of the most acclaimed TV drama series ever made, Tour of Duty, a true account of a young man in combat on the battlefields of Vietnam. Now, Tour of Duty, 7:30 Monday night on 10.
Eddie Hocking, it was it. Put it into attack. Manamaker couldn't. Well, that's a wild handball. McDermott will need a bounce here. He was successful. Kept it in play as he sends it low to Mansell. They've managed to put it now towards centre wing, where West is in front. Launder did that like a rover. Bangs it back towards half forward. Manamaker's a huge chance there. He will be paid. No, not at the second attempt. Now the umpire has given a free. It's against Cruz, I would think, and it will be Anthony Ingerson's about 40 metres out directly in front. Let's have a look how this happened. Manamaker got a hand on this. No, punch clear by Seabohm. Taken there by Ingerson. There's the tackle over the shoulder. So Ingerson has got it 40 metres out directly in front. Hasn't kicked a goal yet. Could very well have done so now. He has. Ingerson's first. The Dogs march home 13-8 to the Bay 6-7.
The Bulldogs have doubled the Bay score here at Football Park, 86 to 43. It's really been a slaughter, and the whistle has gone again. But this time it'll be a Bay free kick. John Seabohm it is. Shoots one up there past centre wing, but it's the player in front. Will be paid. Mark Pryor, who has played pretty well tonight. They've all played well, the Central District players. Rowe got it back to Pryor. Well, no one at home. Ross Gibbs marks the ball easily. He's been a try for the Bays tonight. That ball got through to Winton. He's a tough customer. Here's a chance, Woodlands. Oh, he had the run of it and then stopped. Comes back to him though. Brilliantly done, Ralph. Got it over to Woodlands. He really misses from that spot. He did then though. The point to Craig Woodlands. They can't take a trick, the Bays. They're 6-8 and the Bulldogs are 13-8.
Yes, they're not playing all that well, but then again, the Dogs have just been simply too good. I don't think they've got much chance now. There's 12 minutes. Funny things have happened in football, or I suppose you could say the breeze is not as strong as it was. 12 minutes gone, 13-8 to 6-8. Kick in by Botka. Comes straight down ground. Lounder there. In front of fine Mark Christie. Christie to put the Bays back at the edge of the square. They haven't had too many opportunities tonight. The Dog defence has been on top. Christie puts it up again for Ralph. He's going to get a leap at this one. Doesn't get started. But nipping in front is Jim West, who takes the mark 25 metres out in front. Fine mark. Big Jim is not as big as he used to be. He's lost about 4 stone. No, I'll have to work that out in kilograms as he just pops it through, and that's a fine goal and the one that the Bays badly needed.
Jim West boots a goal. The Bays moved to 7-8, but they trailed by 6 straight goals now, and we're 13.5 minutes into the last quarter. Top performance this by the Dogs, one that would certainly please their coach. They're looking very well oiled at the moment. Christie up against Lounder. Mansell, the handball over the top is towards Woodlands. It was being held without it by Mark Pryor, so Woodlands takes the free at centre half forward. Carey called for it long, but he's gone short to Scott Cunningham. With pace, he's got to get onto the left foot. Now he does. No, the handball is to Rolfe. Rolfe tries to centre it to Carey. Didn't quite reach its mark. Carey's in trouble now as they sit on him, and the umpire has sorted out a free kick. Jamie Thomas has a wide grin on his face. And Big Super rarely gets to his feet, but he's got the free kick. He's about 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. Only his 4th kick of the night. 2 of them have been from free kicks. That's not a good one. That's a point only. The Bays are 7-9 it is. The Dogs 13-8.
21 scoring shots to 15, but that's not really the story of this game. The story of the game has been that the Bulldogs, I'd agree with Ian Day, their use of the ball. I think that's the big difference in the side from last year to this, or particularly tonight. It's been outstanding. Krieg drags it back. Rudy's on a lead, and Rudy will do it. so very easily, but it was superbly put by Peter Krieg. He centred that ball, put it into the open space and gave Rudy a chance to run at it. Manamaker is within 50 metres. The distance should not present a problem, but the accuracy will, as he drags it across and ends up with 1 point. So a crowd in excess of 7,000 people have witnessed a marvellous performance by the Bulldogs here tonight as they've completely rattled Glenelg. They're 13-9 now, the Bays are 7-9.
Big Rudy could have had a few. He's got 5 and he's missed 3 or 4 others that he could have easily have got. There he is in the action again, can't get that one out. Christie gets rid of the ball in a hurry, finds Donovan. The running player out there is Simons. On the left leg, he goes to the half-forward line. Brady, who's done well at centre-half back, although West has taken a couple of big marks. Pryor goes out wide. Out there he finds 41, that's Adams, I think. Yes, Lee Adams. In turn, Chaplin. He's added a bit of dash around the pack, slips it out nicely. Now Trevor Rowe through the centre line, puts it up long, kick it out there. With him is Salisbury, kick it in front, can't bring it down. Swooping on it, Hocking, hooks around the corner. The umpire said that's offline, 1 point only, but the Dogs lead 13-10 to 7-9, 16 minutes gone.
Bays haven't had a very successful Escort Cup to date, beaten comprehensively by Sturt last week at Strathalbyn and suffering a humiliating defeat here tonight. Scott Cunningham deep in the back pocket. He'll direct it towards centre wing where Christie lurks. Or Mandermaker's a long way from goal. Marshall took it off the pack and put it straight out of bounds. So almost 17 minutes gone. Just 4 minutes plus time on, and the Dogs really have given us a fine display of footy.
Have they ever? And you just don't get the feeling that the Bays have got much left in them either. They're a bit flat-footed. They look a bit like Victoria looked last Saturday night. Namely that they just couldn't win the game. Not a good effort there by the Central District player in Gavin Chaplin. He dragged it across, but I mean, you really can't be critical of these Bulldog players at this point. They lead by 37 points and their effort all night has just been outstanding. Oh, Bubner cleverly over the top. Manamaker again, don't tell me he's got 6. No, he hasn't. He's kicked another point though, Rudy Manamaker. The Bulldogs are 13-11. The Bays are 7-9 on 10 Sports Action.
Peter, he appears to be a far more mobile player this year, and if he misses the ball at a mark, he recovers quickly to have the snapshot. And he's going to be a very damaging player, as is that fellow Kickett. He couldn't get that one out. Donovan slips it out. I don't think Walsh had the ball, but they grabbed him in any case. Now the umpires asked him to play on Seabone. Puts it out wide. Oh, that's not a good effort if Krieg gets to it first. And he does. Gee, he beat 4 Tigers to the ball. And it just shows you what the bounding dog can do. Kick number 10, Krieg, puts it up for Big Rudy, and he's got it cold, plus 15 metres. Umpire David Weston says, please come back a little. No, he's not going to pull him back at all. Rudy was on his own. Don't know where he's playing. He's probably gone out to centre half forward. He seems to be well up the track. But it was a good pass, but gee, what a mark then of Krieg's. It's his 9th mark, Big Rudy. In actual fact, I think if he's got 5 goals this evening, he's kicking for number 6. 12th kick. Hasn't booted brilliantly this evening. And that is a far better kick. The umpire almost motionless except to indicate 2 fingers that Rudy's kicked his 6th goal, and the Dogs go on their merry way. 14-11 to 7-9, 19 minutes gone.
Yeah, that's a great effort from Mandermaker tonight. 6 goals, it's a terrific effort. As well as that, he's kicked about 4 points, so he's had 5 points, in fact. 6-5, massive tally in an Escort Cup game when the quarters are short. And 14-11 then the Dogs. The Bays are 7-9.
Lounder gets a thump away as far as most people can kick. Cunningham got a bad one. McAdam whips out the long handball. Now Chaplin didn't lift his eyes last time he kicked for goal. Kickett holds ground well, lost the footy. Back in defence, it's Christie, joined by McDermott. Gibbs is going to run into trouble, and he's flattened. Laid to rest, and the umpire's going to give a high tackle. Well, Ross ducked into that a little bit, but gee, do you think he went down in a screaming heap? Have a look at this. Yeah, Thomas took his feet off the ground. Had he put his feet on the ground, he would have laid him to rest completely. But he lost the purchase of his stops and got him too high. Krieg can't. Thomas in there again. He's been legged, and this time he gets the free kick. having given one away just recently. He's going to whip that out to Krieg. He's on the left leg, but the kick under pressure is not good. Oh, that's a poor effort by the Bays. In and out Ingerson. Try to give a handball away. Now Gibbs. Gibbs is kicking long and wide. Mansell in the action. Whips it back. Oh, Marshall had to reach for it. He's under pressure. Could lose it. They go in hard. Gurdon. No, Krieg at the bottom of the pack. But the umpire will come in and ball it up once more.
Almost coming up to full time now. And I think the Bays will be happy to get off the oval. They have been demoralised by the Dogs tonight. This is Gurdon. Krieg now in the action as he pushes it forward. Well, that should have been a free, yes. The umpire's whistle was a bit belated, but Gavin Chaplin will get it. He's in the centre of the ground as he tacks across to Trevor Rowe, who's come a long way up from his back pocket. Rowe on centre wing for the Dogs. Kick it on a long lead. Salisbury behind him. Good defensive work by Salisbury gives Donovan the chance. Donovan with the left foot will find Simons. Chance for the Bays to build as West on a lead. Winning Brady, but West takes the mark comfortably on his chest. Over the top he goes to the running McDermott. McDermott's kick is into the pocket. Carey going to get there. All tried a one-hand finesse, couldn't. Botka pushed it to the line and put it out of play.
Well, it's hard to believe the Bays are 7 goals down. What, 21 minutes into this quarter? At three-quarter time, it was only a goal the difference, and look at it now.
Throw in 35 metres around. Big super against Lounder. No love lost there tonight. They've been at it most of the second half. Lounder gets the tap away. Quickly it's got out from Adams. The running player there is Chaplin. He goes short. Brady half-back flank. Brady now will come in board. Oh no, he got smothered beautifully out there. He's under a bit of pressure now. West at the top goes for the safety of the line. Mansell's in there for the Bays. Hooks in high up towards full forward. Out comes Marshall. No, Warren Ralph it was, but Botka too strong in the air.
Yes, he's good in the air, Botka. Kick looks for Lounder. Who was that? Winton came in strongly, but Lounder stood his ground pretty well. Fifth kick, high towards half forward. Christie's at the back, better judged. There's 2 against 1 there, so he had the set. Now Christie puts it towards Marshall, beaten by Hearn in the air. Now Gurdon to McAdam. Forward they go again, the Dogs. The handball finishes with Chaplin, who goes out wide. Oh, beautifully put and kick it on a lead. Takes the mark, off he goes. Waltzes into the goal, puts it on its way and bangs it through. Brilliant football. 3 to Derek kick it off. Superb exhibition by the Dogs. 15-11. Glenelg 7-9.
Well, there's one word for the Dog combination this last quarter. It's irrepressible. They are unstoppable. They're running, they're sharing the ball, doing everything correct. The hand crisp. It always finds a target, and they just keep running the ball forward in 2s and 3s. That sort of football is impossible to beat. There's the brilliant Derek kick at you. Is what a player this bloke is going to be this season in our football. And the Dogs streak away.
I agree with that, Graham. If this fellow doesn't bring people to watch the football, I don't know what will. Talent to burn. At the bounce, Lounder against Christie. Christie's tap away, taken by Bubner. The high kick goes to the half-forward line. Trying a big leap back there is Cruz, and he takes a fine mark. Slips it out to Salisbury. Seabohm, not good handball there. They got themselves under pressure. Now kick it. What sort of miracle can he perform now? They're conceding ground, but finally give it back to Bubner. Going out wide to the outer side, getting back McDermott. With him is Cruz, well shepherded. Took a bit of buffeting. Now Donovan. Donovan off the half-back line, has time to run it out of defence. 10th kick, Donovan goes long, West half-forward line. They want to get it in quickly. They're starting to get covered. The moves have been covered now. The Bays are not really leading to meet the ball. Woodland's there, should take the mark, can't take it. Whipped out by Hearn. Now Chaplin. Rowe off the half-back line. Gives a chance now to Adams if he gets the set. With him there is Simons. Chigwedden under pressure. Quickly Christie. Woodland's on his loan. He's got a 40 metres break. Sets sail for goal. Puts it on its way. But that's the story of the Bays' performance this evening. No pressure on him at all, and kicked out of play on the full.
Alan Stringer had a very good first half, but he hasn't been on the ground the second half. And the Bays have suffered accordingly. But this quarter has produced 7 goals, 5 by the Dogs. And Glenelg have added just 1-3. It's been a massacre. West fumbles, gets it back cleverly to Marshall now, and Marshall puts it towards half forward. Carey getting in front, but he's out position. And a good mark taken by Botka. No, it's Paul Sullivan, who was decked by Ralph. But he's had a very good game tonight, Paul Sullivan. McAdam. Kick number 14 for him. Towards centre half back we'll find Pryor. Now the run as they open up. Botka through half back. Puts it to half forward. Gurdam on a long lead. Can't get to it. At the back it was Cruz who got a boot on it and put it straight out of play.
Must be very close to final siren. We've had over 25 minutes of the last quarter, remembering that there are 21 minutes plus time on. But as David told you, the Dogs have kicked a bundle of goals in this last quarter. Trying to get it out was Adams. Marshall, Winton, he hasn't got the foot. He's going to get a free kick on the half-forward line, but still too far out to score. Jeffrey Winton, who certainly added a bit of bite to the Tiger since he's come on. There's the siren, and it's a massive win to the Dogs. And Graham Campbell, that's the second drubbing in 2 Escort Cup games by the Bays. They must have problems.
Well, yes, Ian, you must say it's an ominous sign for the Bays to have gone down in a screaming heap tonight. I know Graham Corns was very keen to do well, indicated by the fact he brought South Australian captain Chris McDermott back onto the ground for the first time in the match for this last quarter. But the Dogs, as I said before, were irrepressible tonight. That's the best quarter of football we've seen this year, fellas, from one of the sides competing out here at Football Park. Brilliant performance by the Central District team, and Neil Curley, we were very pleased with that. 15-11, 101, beating Glenelg by a cool 50 points. Glenelg 7-9, 51. That's an embarrassing performance for the Bays, and yet for 3 quarters it was a tight go, but the last quarter was all Central District. Well done.